Spinning, and I do believe we are live now. Hello and welcome to Growing Thumbs. I'm Blue Kiss Gardens. This is episode probably one out the door, as we're going to actually say it, of a forum chat. And our subject tonight will be you sure do smoke a lot of weed. Oh, that's me that's making that noise. Let me fix that. So I did my own self, man. I did it to my own self. That's so sad. Um, I would like to start out the chat by introducing my panel. I am, of course, Blue Kiss Gardens, which most of you know. I'm retired. I like to smoke cannabis. This is my 50th anniversary of smoking cannabis, in fact. I'm on my golden anniversary year. And I use it medicinally and I use it recreationally both. And I in particular want to shout out TARDIS. He hooked me up with some headband. And I used to smoke headband back in the days before we had true legalization. And I wouldn't grow it when it wasn't legal. But I had a dude that did, and I got it from him. And I loved headband. And so when TARDIS said he would hook me up with some, I jumped on it. And I've got to tell you, this is the best headband that I have ever smoked. It is whoever grew it, and they wish to remain anonymous. They grew it to perfection. They cured it to perfection, dried it, then cured it to perfection. And now it's in my joint, making me a happy girl. So nice. That's my shout out for the night and my introduction. And I'm going to introduce next Emily.
Hey guys, I am Emily, or Anything Grows, on Instagram and here on YouTube. Super excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me over, Lucas. Tonight I'm going to be dabbing on some Functified from the Trichome Forge. Shout out Spartan Grown and Baked Pone. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then I've got some Vortex flower and Spartan Puke as well, grown from Spartan Grown.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, we've got heavy hitters tonight because I as well use very medicinally. So I want some heavy hitters that'll help get everything going the right way. So stoked to be here, guys.
Thank you, Emily. Next, I would like to introduce my friend Marie Johnson. I actually met Marie Johnson at the GGC Cup 3 years ago. And we became what you call fast friends. Take it away, Marie.
Hello. Good morning, good evening, good night. Just kidding. I just want to shout out Naven Johnson, the artist, the grower. I am a heavy medicinal, occasional recreational, depending on who and where I am at. User, and I am very nervous.
And she is also a first timer. So everybody, let's support our friend Marie here. So thank you for coming tonight, Marie. I know how nervous it is to be a first timer on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Also a first timer on the YouTubes is Miss Kitty Bad Kitty. Some of you know who Kitty Bad Kitty is because she has her own Discord room, which is an excellent Discord room. I spend a lot of time there. I do coffee clatches with her, and I even got a chance to visit her this year. And I have to say, there are no internet imaginaries for me on this panel. I have met and partied with each and every one of these ladies, and every one of them is very knowledgeable in what we're going to talk about. So, Kitty, take it away.
That's awesome. My name is Kitty Bad Kitty. I am a medicinal and recreational user. I smoke every day, obviously. And what else about me?
You love some birds.
Yes, I do. I sure love some birds, that's for sure. I spend my time right now at home because I am currently off work, probably going back later, but that's future kitty problems.
To be clear, she's off because of injury. She's not off for a layoff or something like that. She definitely has a reason for being off.
Yeah, I was hurt at work, so I've been off for a while. And so I use it medicinally for my mental health and for my injury.
Okay.
Right on.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
I-
curious, Kitty Bat Kitty, what kind of bird you got?
Oh, I have conures. Well, I have one conure left now. That is the group in front there that I have on my icon. Those are conures. I have one rose-fronted conure. I have one pionus parrot. I have one parrotlet and 4 lovebirds.
Oh my
I have a bunch
goodness.
of birds, yes, and
Yes,
I
you do.
adore them.
the parrotlet's close to my heart because it's named Blue Kiss, and it's very blue though. She is so blue.
Oh, a girl I used to know had a green cheek conure, I think.
Yes, that's what these are. Green, yellow-sided green cheek conures are in
Yeah.
in the
That's
icon there.
that's why I was curious. I was like, I can't see all that well, but I could obviously see that those are conures. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's not. That's
not an
fine.
interruption at all. I'm certainly going to
Cannabis leads the conversation. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. What actually brought this conversation into my want to do a show on it? Let me take a sip real quick. It's got a little cotton mouth.
Have you been smoking the marijuana?
I rolled 3 joints for the show, and I started the first one at the half an hour. So I've got one for every half an hour. So I think I'll be okay.
I like that.
And
All right.
Yeah, and I can also do a dab in my dabber there. My
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Dabber. So we're cool. But I did not for just for everybody to know, I did not do my usual Friday night hallucinogenics because I wanted to kind of keep my shit together for the show. That's my gift to you.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I forget. I may do a little night tripping as well as day tripping. I don't know.
Day and night, it all blends together. You're retired.
The universe, but that's a whole different subject.
You know, you don't really have to worry about your roommates, and those guys don't talk.
No, they don't. And I've got them locked back there because the one roommate went for a run through looks like he went into the pond and he came back right before showtime. And I'm like, oh no, I'm back in the kitchen with you. Yeah, I have 2 Chow Chows for those who don't know. And one is very old and decrepit and she just doesn't go anywhere. But I have a male that every now and again he'll break out and run the neighborhood. He doesn't go very far. He doesn't go on the road or anything, but neighborhood being my 5 acres, those 5 acres, and maybe those 5 acres. What I wanted to start the conversation with, though, as I sidetracked off because I'm a little bit flitty, I recently got a new doctor and did the full workup with my panel because I'm of that age where we have to get tested a little bit for some stuff. And she called for all my records and they were helter-skelter all over. And they were all put together in a folder for me. And I had a portal that I could just go and check my stuff out. And just out of curiosity, I went back when I broke my hip in 22. I went back to see some of the stuff they did there, and they did a full panel of drugs on me to see if I was under the influence of anything. Full panel. You name the drug, legal or illegal, that people take recreationally, it was on that list. Every one of them said negative, until you got to cannabis.
Isn't that the best to see? Just bright green.
Yes,
just lit up.
Yeah. And then it got to cannabis and it had this big abnormal.
Yeah, because there's no reading for it. like if it's either it's either normal or it's either negative or it's
Or
either
positive. You can't call it
positive.
normal or abnormal.
No, that's what they call it. Because normal is negative.
Nothing.
It's negative.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a normal, but abnormal. Why would you even use those phrases? Abnormal suggests that there's something unseemly going on in my cannabis use, and there
Okay,
isn't.
so
I use it medicinally. I do.
And as far as I'm aware, they can't even track or trace or measure our endocannabinoid system. And that's what we like are that is in us. Like that is just part of our biology.
Yes,
So I
exactly.
don't know how they really relate
Yeah,
that to what you already measure, you know?
yeah, like I smoke a lot.
Me too.
Even my husband is like, Naaman is like, why are you still there in our little spot that we smoke in? I'm like, because I'm not done.
done. Yeah, I will put this out and light another one.
Yeah. It's just what I
Because
do.
that's what I. Chink, show me a Coke, sister.
Yeah, sure. But like I think it's funny and just a little background on me. I am in the medical field. I don't think that, and every time I go to a certain doctor, they do a drug test on me because of the mental health drugs that I'm on. They are like, you have to stop smoking marijuana. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So either you, I just think it's funny that how do they judge that? It could be minute amount. It's either normal or abnormal. And I feel like if it's just a minute amount, that's really not justifiable.
Well, I take umbrage at it being called abnormal because that indicates that there's something wrong with that level. And I don't feel whatever that level is, how would you even measure it? Because I use it medicinally.
Mhm.
The only prescribed drugs that I take, and I requested it, was a water pill because I had back when for anybody that doesn't know me or hasn't known me long, I have lost 120 pounds since 22 when I broke my hip. And I had high retained water and high blood pressure. And the doctor at that time said, well, take this water pill, see what happens. My water went down, blood pressure went down, everything was great. But then I continued and I lost 120 pounds and didn't really need it anymore. So I just stopped taking the water pill. But then fast forward to now, and I got just a little bit of in my ankles where I retained water. So I asked my doctor for the water pill and I take a half of one. That's the only drug I take. I take a B12 supplement because my B12 was in the tanks. And we think that's probably from me drinking the RO water. Not sure if that's true or not. But so I'm taking a big ass supplement for that. But at 65 to say that, I know people a third of my age that can't say that.
No, you're absolutely right.
But also, I take this in large enough quantities that I feel okay about stuff. And yeah, I don't appreciate it being called abnormal.
Well, it's not you, my dear.
I know, but it's just it implies that we are taking an amount
Something wrong. There's something wrong with it.
Yes.
I mean, you look at it though, because I've had a brain scan done and it came back and thankfully they didn't find anything, but it was listed as unremarkable. Who wants to hear that? Like my brain is damn remarkable. How dare you?
Yeah, there's
But that's just the wording that they use.
Yeah, I mean,
unremarkable. I understand, but that means there's nothing out of the that they have found nothing out of the ordinary.
Not if you're like to really think about yourself in a high standard, though.
Well, don't I? Yeah, do you guys know me? Come on. Nobody puts me on a pedestal. I just jump up there myself.
Nobody puts baby in a pistol. Okay, I digress.
Yes, that's all right.
Why wouldn't you put baby in the corner?
What do you mean?
Why wouldn't she be in the corner? She was
You lost
16
me
years
there.
old. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
high.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, nobody puts baby in a corner. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
16. Make her act right.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I gotta tell you, Marie. That's the first joke you told on the YouTubes, and it kind of went flat because I missed the punchline and missed where you're going with it.
It's okay. I'm high. I don't care. I thought it was funny.
That's fine. Hey, I would like to ask Kitty. Kitty has been taking cannabis pretty medicinally too, and part of her story is the people around her. She her mother knows, for example, and I don't mean to tell tales out of school on you, Kitty. Her mother knows that cannabis basically saved Kitty's life in a lot of ways. Yet she's got all kinds of ideas that are incorrect about it. And Kitty, I'd like you to address that if you could.
Yeah, she totally has this, uh, like, cannabis is the equivalent of crack to her. Like, it is like a drug, it is bad. And then next thing you know, she's like, I know it saved you, basically. Like, it changed your life completely. And it's like, well, how can you know this? Like, you've seen it, but yet you still listen to all the other BS that's out there, but you have witnessed it. And somehow that still doesn't change her mind because she has been told for years and years and years that cannabis is bad by the government and whoever else, and not meaning to go down that road or anything.
Yeah, and she
Yeah,
is a
just
boomer
the
too. So
propaganda. Yeah.
yeah,
Has she
so
tried it herself? Has she ever?
Yes, yes. And see, that's the other thing too, is that she will ask me for gummies and stuff like that too. And like she will use them and knows, excuse me, you knows it helps her.
But then
And
judges you for using it?
yes, based
Yeah,
on
no,
like, yeah.
that is really tough, and especially to have it come from a loved one like that. I had an ex. I used cannabis as well. I had started out for mental health reasons, and it's grown into physical ailments, helping with a lot more than just the mental health stuff
Hmm.
now. But it was just the kind of person. It would be, hey, why don't you go smoke? Go calm down. It's okay. It'll help you. Go smoke. And then 20 minutes later, the next time it would be, wow, look at you, you're a drug addict. Like,
yeah.
and just that back and forth is really hard when you're trying to be comfortable with something. It is still a substance. You are still taking it as a medicine. And to have that judgment come from someone that should be on the side of helping rather than hindering.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I find that I really dislike about that, what I get is they understand that you're using it medicinally and it does help you medicinally, but go ahead and fuck up on something just one time when you're high, just one time. And it's
Yeah.
not because you just fuck something up, it's because you're high.
Hmm.
And it may or may not be true. In my case, it's usually not true. I'm a klutz no matter what, but let's be clear, I smoke constantly, but what is high for me? Right now, I could probably do just about anything past any kind of a sobriety test, and I just smoke.
100%. Do you know what the difference is, though? I have a hard time with my hands. They don't work too well. So I'm, trying to do dishes or something. I drop a dish, it breaks. I'm not high by any means. I'm just naturally sober, just trying to do the dishes. And damn it, clumsy me dropped it and here it broke. I'm now
Yeah.
scrambling to clean it up. Whereas if I am high and I'm doing those exact same dishes and damn it, Emily, we dropped the plate and it broke, I'm much easier to laugh it off or go, oh, Emily, like just kind of look at
Ah,
it
shit,
instead of
you
that
did it again.
immediately panic, just that immediate response. So it's not that you're clumsier, that or anything like that. It's not like you're intoxicated to any extent. I mean, you absolutely can if you're not being mindful, while you're consuming. But those regular everyday things, like, okay, somebody caught you cleaning up broken glass because you took a minute to be, oh, well, it broke. At least I didn't get hurt and go clean it up carefully. Whereas if you weren't, you know, that level of high, if you weren't that in a relaxed state where those fireworks weren't going off so panicked, you're scrambling when you're not trying to clean it up, blaming yourself sort of a deal, or, at least in my case. And sure, somebody doesn't come in and see that you broke a plate because like you were scrambling to clean it up because you were so scared, like, oh, I fucked up. Give yourself that grace though. And that's kind of what cannabis will allow you to do in even just those small moments.
I go ahead, hon.
I could totally relate to your situation there, kitty back kitty, because I have to deal with my mother-in-law in addition to my mother in regards to the amount that I smoke. And I just kind of sit there and I laugh and I'm just like, I've been doing this for a long time. Longer than both of you guys could ever imagine. My mother-in-law is from a small Midwestern town. My mom is from overseas, a small town overseas. And so it doesn't matter what I do, even though they both one of them lives in a legal state. It doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
Like Emily said, if I do something, oh, great, that's awesome. If I don't do it, oh, you're just effing high. You're just doing the drugs. You're just effing high. That's why you didn't do it. Like, do I have to be perfect? No.
Yeah,
So
if you
You
forget
need
to
to
do
be able to
something,
hold
that's a
yourself
lot of it.
accountable, though.
Yeah.
You have to hold yourself accountable
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you can absolutely consume even a medicinal amount. Because I believe, like, the way that I consume is I am medicinally from the time I wake up, trying to get all of those endocannabinoid levels that I have back up to top notch. Okay. I want them all topped off. And so I'm consuming. And some days I need to consume a lot more versus other days. And it's just based off of how I feel from it. Once I get that level, my nice medicinal level, everything is buffered back, the pain, the voices, all of that stuff. Then if I'm consuming after that, that's when I get that recreational high. And there's a level difference that I can go between, when I am trying to consume, because I mean, people who use it medicinally, they just have a high tolerance because you are using it to combat chronic issues. So you are chronically using it, and you're just going to build
Exactly.
that up. So I think I don't remember where I was going with that, by the way. I'm sorry. I got tied off on chronic. I used it too many times. It's a side effect of the medicine.
It is a side effect of the medicine. There are side effects to this medicine. And let's face it, our side effects are so much nicer than the side effects that you hear at the disclaimers at the end of those other ads with the people on the beach holding hands. I'm not going to have any liquid shits from this, that's for sure. Not to be so gross about it, guys, but yeah, as you listen to those at the end of the disclaimers of everything that could do to you, and it's like, what did it fix?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did it fix versus what did it hurt?
Yeah.
Like, you get a lot of bad side effects from those medications, and some that don't show up for years later.
And what's our memory loss? You could have a lung problem if you maybe smoke some shitty weed. You could probably get a lung infection. Temporary. I have never had, my lungs aren't shot from smoking 50 years. 50 years. And yeah, if they hurt, I'd back it off. You could hurt your lungs smoking, but you can also
what's beautiful about cannabis, though, is that you don't always have to smoke it to consume it. If you are battling some type of an infection, respiratory, anything like that, you can consume it through an oil, a tincture. You can have an edible. Like, there's so many ways to still reach those benefits.
Yeah. I will say, as far as recreational, edibles don't do anything for me. However, I did have a cancer scare at one point, and I couldn't.
Now you make a banging edible, though.
I know, but I don't get off on them at all. I know, terrible. But
you said
I don't. Yeah, I know. Things come out of my face before I think about it. I don't get high off of them. But no, I had a cancer scare back in 22 when I was broken, and I couldn't get out of bed to get to the doctor to get shit checked out. And I got in touch with Spartan Grown, and I told him I needed prophylactically to start taking cannabis. And he immediately sent me the RSO I needed to do a gram a day, because that is the medicinal. That's right there. Yep, every day, not just once every day. Get that.
What
whole
was your
unit.
dosage on that? How much were you taking? Was it multiple times a day? Was it just once at night?
I made little caramel canoes, and I filled up a little caramel canoe, and I took about a third of it each time and popped it back. Yeah.
Like a
And then I
roll
did yeah, kind of like that.
The nastiest roll ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
right.
gotta be careful. I mean, some people like the taste of RSO, if you can believe it, but I'm not one of them.
Okay, I did RSO yesterday, filled up the little capsule. I didn't put the topper on it because why waste? And I didn't have a drink right handy, and I had just set it in my mouth. So I like had it rested just against my lip so it wasn't like on my tongue. It was touching my lip enough that when I swigged it back, it was just a string that got to the roof of my mouth, down my
Oh
throat.
no.
Like 20 minutes later, I'm still getting the ooh kind of chills. Oh my
That
God.
is lovely.
Could have just taken the damn syringe straight at that point.
That is awesome. I got one stuck in my tongue and it just like it would not go away. Like a little dab of RSO. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was super smart because I took it right out the fridge.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, like, something cold, if you've got something ice cold and you've got a little bit stuck, you can usually like freeze it and chip it off. Oh my God, it was just everywhere and I couldn't.
No. Yeah. 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 I've done RSO, I've done edibles, I'm vaping right now. Gosh. We have flour, we have lots and lots of flour.
Yes, that's my main thing. Is the
What's your
flour.
favorite way to consume to get the, your medicinal benefits? How do you like to consume if you had to just do one for relief?
If I just had to do one, edibles.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because I just recently had back surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, you
And
don't
I
want to be
said,
coughing.
yeah, you can't cough.
Are you wearing like a back brace that's you gotta hold everything up?
Yeah, I had to hold
Ugh.
everything up. Yeah, I was in a back brace. They actually did damage to, like, you get those scares that are like, okay, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Well, one of those things happened.
Oh, right. Gee,
And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I had to lay in bed for 2 days in the hospital bed. I was in hospital for over 3 days.
That's prison at that point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Load me
and
up on some damn edibles.
Yeah, and I was bouncing off the walls. My brain was going ballistic because they hadn't given me my mental health drugs. And I was just going dry. The first thing I did, I didn't even go pick up the meds that they gave me. I went and I got some edibles with some CBD in it. I don't think I even used half of the narcotics that they gave me. I mean, it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the biggest thing about cannabis is it can take the place of narcotics, Norcos, Vicodins, all of those fun, stupid drugs that we don't need to take. That
Right.
people end up addicted on.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time with those because they make you, I mean, there's so many other side effects with those. It's like they make you constipated.
Yep.
They make you itch. They automatically dry you up.
Yep.
And you're wondering, like, I accidentally took a Norco and a medicinal CBD THC gummy.
Oh, how'd that
I,
work for you?
I was in Happy Land for a while.
Now I know that CBD is typically said to be able to bring down a high. They say if you're too high, getting in that uncool zone, and you don't really want to ride it out, you can tone it down with CBD. But I've mixed CBD flower that I've grown, um, in joints that I've rolled, in bowls that I've smoked. I've taken CBD RSO along with THC RSO. I've made them in edibles together. I think I've done a dab or two of a CBD concentrate even. And obviously I've done, THC ones. And I don't at any point feel like that has hindered or combated my high. I feel like it enhances it.
Kind of
Like it
supports
makes
it
it
from the
last.
bottom.
Yes, it just makes it last a little longer. It makes
Yeah.
it the come up when with RSO a little easier or coming down
Yeah.
a little easier because sometimes I get a bit dizzy. I always get a tummy ache, unfortunately. Like
Yeah.
there's just things you notice that are just slightly different, but I've never noticed it, you know, um, take away any type of that psychoactive effect that people are trying for.
Oh
So
no.
I love CBD, and I think CBG is one that's being looked into a lot more now, and that one is one
That's
that
for
I
the stomach.
personally. Is it? Okay, so I've heard CBG is for inflammation as well as like attention. I definitely use it for the attention type. I used to take Adderall and um like I would get certain, I want to say like ticks, when I would notice
Yeah.
medication working, wearing off, etc. And the first times that I was taking larger dosages of CBG, I noticed a few of those same kind of effects. And I'm like, if this is hitting that part in my brain, because it definitely
Yeah.
felt, like um, a substance. So I was like, if this is actually hitting that part of my brain, like this makes sense that it's being used for those focus aspects. So that's what I've always used it for. I personally, I've taken CBD tincture. I'm not sure if I have any on me. Give me one moment to look through my drawer of magical goodies. No, I don't have any on me here. So I've taken CBG tincture from Winewood Organics here in Michigan. Um, and that's just a pure CBG, like isolate type of tincture. Um, and I would take it regularly and I would absolutely notice those focus effects. But I personally just have a bit of terrible stomach issues that I've been dealing with for a while. And throughout the time that I was using the CBG regularly, I didn't notice it calming my stomach any. I didn't notice personally any type of relief from pain, inflammation, anything like that. So that's interesting that you say that. Have
Yeah,
you been able to
that's
use it for that?
I
Have
grew
you?
I grew up one plant 2 years ago that was is purportedly heavy in the CBG. Um, and that was Lavender OG. And it was okay. I didn't really notice a real big difference as far as because I have IBS and I just control it. It's caused by anxiety or nerves, whatever.
Stress,
It's
yep.
emotion based. Yep. So as long as I control my emotions, I don't have a real big problem with it. So I don't have to be medicated for it, but it is nice to have something to put some relief into it without, without drugging myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I can just imagine because like I deal with a lot of stomach cramping, things like that.
Yeah.
Just being able to get relief from that, just the pain, the tension letting off, so I'm glad you were able, did that, you said lavender? Lavender?
Lavender OG is out of I think it was Ethos, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
And as far as this, Kitty has a different way that she takes her medicine and gets a very powerful dosing, and that is through bong rips. And you want to speak to that, Kitty, a little bit?
Oh yeah, I smoke a bong all day. Usually I'm coughing and coughing after I'm done, so that's why I periodically mute it. to cough. But yes, I definitely enjoy my bong rips. And it is the most effective way for me because it is it's the fastest in my opinion.
Yes.
In my experience, yeah, it's the fastest, yeah.
Yes, having visited her this summer, she and her husband had bongs set up for me and the other people that were there, all around their table, clean, beautiful bongs, beautiful, all this glass. And I even got a little tutorial on how to take a rip correctly because I was doing it, I really was doing it incorrectly when I thought about it. But the first night,
is there an incorrect way?
I was like, I don't think there is an incorrect way.
I didn't clear. I don't clear the ash down into the bowl. I don't clear the ash. I'll pull the ash up.
Oh yeah,
and her husband was like, no, just pull it, suck it through. We're gonna clean it again. Don't worry. And they constantly was cleaning the water in our pipes. And the first night, I was going to say, I really look at myself and pride myself on being able to party all night and stick it to the kids. I can, the old lady, she's the last one up, first one up. No, not that night. That night they put me down. And and it was just from doing because I'm used to slow and steady wins the race to doing the power hit, and 4 power hits later, I'm going, I powerfully hit. Yes.
Even just the way that I consume, like, I completely agree. There's like a difference when I'm smoking joints. It's slow and steady. I need to drag this high out. I need to keep it going. I need it to stay this level. And then going for a couple of bong rips, like, you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be holding on for a second, like the way that I do it. It's like, I'm going to rip it and I want to do 4 or 5 bowls real quick. I want to sit here and I want to feel all of that. And then there's like, when you do concentrate, have you done dabs before?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, they have?
Yeah. We're all old school babes here, honey.
Old school with that fancy little device. Hold that bitch back up. Let me see.
No.
This is the Dr.
Yeah,
Debbie
look at you,
Dabber.
little fancy.
Oh my
Okay?
gosh.
I know, I like that.
So I remember when we were doing dabs out of the little tray with the nail, and you got the glass hot and you sucked it through a straw.
Yeah, I never did any of that.
Never?
Back in my day. I've heard
we didn't do that.
I know, like
there was
it was
another
forever
boomer and me
ago.
talking about it. Going, what do you think about those dabs the kids are all doing? Kind of shit. I swear to God. And yeah, I even got a press and stuff, and we pressed out some concentrate. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Yeah, I got it.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I know. Rosin bomb. Yeah, it's not the best of process, but for a little experiment, it was okay.
Why not? That's what I want to do, awesome. Though. I don't care where technology is right now in terms of, the market and where these vendors are, even if they're craft, even if they're, our get-togethers. I want to learn how to do all of those little pieces. I want to learn how to, even if it's shitty, make hash quick in a bucket. I don't know how the fuck to do it. So if I'm just talking down my ass right now, I'm just putting words together.
There is a quick way.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, I want to figure out how to do it just, in my DIY way. I want to,
like the old-fashioned way, the way they learned how to do it in the first place.
Yeah, yes. I want to learn all those steps though, throughout it, so that I can say like, oh well, they went from doing this to this way because of that, not just because like, oh, I can recall that piece of information. It doesn't stick that way.
I will shout out the Dank Duchess. I found her on YouTube, and that's how I learned how to dry screen. And
that's awesome.
That is I don't go to full melt with mine, but I screen it enough that when I put it in my edibles. So that's how I do my edibles now is hash. I hash my edibles instead of doing the full flower. Yeah. And I really effed up this last batch though, because I put so much in it. It was just like dip my finger in it. It tastes like aerosol, oily aerosol. Holy shit, I can't give this to anybody. I can't take this to camp. I'll kill people.
Oh my God. Are you doing it in butter?
Yeah, I did it in butter, but I did it. I put so much
Yeah.
in it because I really want. I didn't even
Just make
measure. It
them
was
little itty bitty
Ooh.
bites.
like, well, I gotta just clarify some more butter and just siphon it down a little bit.
I'm
Nah,
a go
Yeah.
F
big or go home
that.
kind of person. So
Listen to
I'm
you.
like,
Well,
load
you
her
want to
up.
make your edibles edible.
But you got well, yeah, I guess.
I
Oh,
just
and
said
this
I
is
consumed RSO straight taste in it. Okay, those edibles that you make are 10 times better than that, even if they're a little hashy.
a
Right?
little hashy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're holding our pinky over here. Apparently, some of us want medicine,
Apparently.
not delicacies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like that compound butter. It's got a better taste when you don't have the green in it.
Yeah, honest,
True.
honest.
True.
I've had fun trying to learn different ways to infuse different items with what I have. Like I definitely don't like all of the steps that goes into infusing butter or oil. So I've been trying to take like oil and infuse it, or like RSO and infuse it back into ingredients. So like the best one I've had success with is molasses. And
Oh, that
so,
probably would.
because
It's
I've
so
got good at.
similar in consistencies.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was thinking. So
Dang,
I
yeah,
open
because
up a can.
that's when you said molasses. I go, God, it just looks like RSO.
Right? So I open up a can of molasses and I take, whatever size syringe I want and I just dump it in there, close it back up, put it in a not a deep freezer. Oh my God, it's the crock pot. Put it in a crock pot with some
Just
water
happens to be
filled up.
cold.
Opposite
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah,
Um,
let it meld in there together a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do it for a few hours and just take it and mix it like that. Um, I did learn the hard way that if you open it as soon as you take it out of the hot, it will over bubble everywhere. And it'll be the biggest mess you'll ever fucking have.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was
We,
awful. That was bad. I was licking it off my hands for a while though. I will say that was a great night. I
do
don't
you put
care how long
do
it
you put
took.
any binding agent in it at all?
Not for that. Mm-mm.
Were you
No.
happy?
Hmm?
Were you happy?
Oh, yes. It was a very good night. Just me in my kitchen.
Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't mind that it spilled, it was something to learn. And the glass didn't break. I've tried doing butter in a mason jar in a crock pot, but I didn't have anything buffering between the bottom of the glass and the glass of the crock pot ceramic base.
Oh
And
no.
definitely lost some butter
Did
that
you
way.
squirch?
It was no, it broke the bottom right off. When I picked it up, the bottom just
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah. So you have to make sure
Oopsie.
to put something like a buffer. I just use another rim of a mason jar under it and set the mason jar on it, and that's enough of a leeway.
Yeah. That's very cool. So to re-answer that question about what a normal usage is for me before the surgery, I used to take an edible when I woke up. I smoked on the ball vape pen, vape, whatever this is, ball vape. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an electronic little,
Yeah. Little hand vapor.
yeah.
Vaporizer. Yeah.
And I smoke about 4 bowls. I go on with my day. And about lunchtime, I start that over again.
And as far as your day goes, it helps get you through your day. And
Yeah, it just helps me get through the day, through the pain, through the million intrusive thoughts that go through my head on a daily basis. It's insane. I hate to use that word, but that's the way it is.
yes, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that loop that you got to try to shut off. I understand that.
Yeah, because it's one of those, like THC helps with so many times where I'm not going to chase the rabbit down the hole.
Yeah, you just say
You know,
fuck it instead.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Fuck it. I'm not going to chase that rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably what it does for all of us is it just breaks that loopy cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, there have been when my like for a big example, when my husband passed, I got into kind of an anxiety loop right after his funeral, and I was smoking. We were a bunch of people at my home and out in the garage, and we were smoking and drinking huge amounts of cannabis, and it was not touching it. And my niece goes, "How about a Xanax?" And I was like, I've never had one. Okay, how about a Xanax?" And so I took a Xanax, and I went,
Yep.
"It's all good."
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. I'm good at taking something like that. Cannabis couldn't touch it, but it's pretty rare that cannabis can't touch something like that.
Yeah.
And I will say that it is a great drug, but it doesn't fix everything. And
Oh, no.
you know, if any drug fixed everything, it would only fix it half-assed, in my opinion, anyway. So, but for what it's exactly what I need. It's exactly what I need, and I'm so glad to have it. But I really don't need the opinions of other people thinking I'm a big head or something. Which, yeah, okay, maybe I am. I don't know, but I function through my day. I've got top level thinking. I don't feel like the commercial with the kid in the basement, that kind of thing. That's what a lot of people think about what cannabis does to you. You start out there smoking in mom's basement, and when you're at the age of 35, you're still in mom's basement smoking.
Yeah.
And that's I can't think of anything that's further from the truth, but that is the media blitz that everybody got in our generation.
Yep.
Oh, didn't you get the egg fried on the road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah.
Did you guys have to go to the DARE program, or that was just me?
No, dude.
I
They
was
still
that
pull
was
that BS in Canada.
that was after me. That was after me. Yeah, that kind of shit right there. Dare. Yeah.
My daughter came back and was like, "What?" Like they just because she's very knowledgeable and very smart young lady, and
I
she
agree.
was like, they just fed us BS. Like it was blatant lies at
Oh,
some
yeah.
points.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
And that wasn't a while back. That was recently.
that was
See,
like
that's
six
the
months
problem.
ago.
That was recently.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're still pushing the same baloney that they
It's the
do.
same
Yeah.
agenda of vilifying cannabis, and that's
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
say. If you say you forgot to pick your kid up at school, and yeah, you probably smoked before that because you smoked before that every single day that you did pick the kid up too,
Yeah.
and yeah, she was probably high. That's what you might hear, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that. Or maybe you got busy and you had 25 other things going on and you just freaking forgot,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
and
definitely times like as a mom, I'm just running around taking care of everything. I've always got a list going. And there's times where I'll catch myself in the middle of 4 different tasks, realizing what the fuck am I even doing? And I literally have to stand there and go, Emily, get your shit together. Hold on. And I've got to like mentally reassign everything because like you don't even realize it sometimes when you're consuming and just making it through the day. Like it does affect you if you're not being that mindful. You do
yeah,
have to. That kind of goes into earlier, like I was saying, the accountability for it. You have to be
exactly.
aware of your usage and how you're using it and the effects that you're getting from it.
Yeah. But here's the truth of it too. You could still have taken the correct dosage and still forgotten. And
Yeah, 100%.
that is the problem is it's it's not the always go-to reason that we need to point to for somebody who uses cannabis and especially in the quantities that we do.
I think another thing kind of has to go into I don't use the wrong words for it, but the terpenes of it, like how you can use specific ones to enhance memory or enhance mood or, and there's some days when you might need a little bit more help with the focus. And so if you're consuming something that's high in that, you're going to be able to function a bit better. But if you're not
Exactly.
really aware of that, and like there's not a lot of research into these still, we don't even have them all identified as far as I know. But
No.
if you're consuming because you're trying to get effects to assist, you know, ailment A, but it's also, taking away your ability to do other things, like that's not, it's medicine, but it's not medicine, like you're not able to actually use it appropriately. And I'm sorry if that's not coming out a bit weird. But I'm trying to focus. Got a lot going on.
Focus, Emily.
But
What are you, high?
no, I'm just a
Sure do
mom, damn
smoke a
it.
lot of weed.
You know, you're just like smelling a little funny over there.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Sorry, I left for a second there and then I was like, what the hell? The fuck did I do?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you. I looked down and I was yammering, and then I looked down. You were gone. Like, she's gone, but she's still in. Oh, she's backstage. And then I realized what happened.
Yeah.
But whew, you didn't miss too much as far as time in the show, so I'm glad for that. And as far as where did Emily go? By the way,
I don't know. She said she was
she just.
distracted. She left.
Oh, okay. I am distracted too. I'm trying to find the top to my piece here.
Yeah. I'm
Ugh.
not a flower, so I'm going to go back to the vape pen.
Okay. Yeah, the struggle is. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, I promised some of the ladies on my panel that we wouldn't go much over an hour, and I think for a show we did pretty good here. But before we go, I would like to do a dab with y'all, and I hope that Emily come back if you can hear me.
I will load up a rep.
Yep, we'll load up a rig.
I'll have to go upstairs to do a dab.
All right, we can set that up.
I definitely set that up.
So we talked for an hour and hardly even got into the subject as far as dosings and stuff, but that's okay. And I like this. This is great.
We did.
We kind of did. I am so glad that you, Marie, and you, Kitty, both of you came on tonight. As newbies, you are no more. You did great. You stayed with the topic and gave your share, and I was so glad for that and appreciative. And I thank you for coming tonight. We did
Thanks
actually
for
have a
having
couple
me.
other people that were going to show up and could not. So Emily and Marie both graciously agreed at the last minute to fill in for them. Emily, being the old pro she is, I knew she could do it no problem. She just did a little bit of juggling. But Marie, having never been on a show, and she just kind of went, okay, yeah, I think I could do that. No, that's my gal. And also, I wanted to let you all know is if you ever party with Marie, don't ever try to thunder fluff her because she does not care. She will take that little roach as long as there's a hit there. She will take that little hit. So, yeah, my hats off to you for that one, Marie. Whew.
And even without nails.
Are you in position there, Marie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start my rig up. And I say cheers to everybody in the audience. And thank you all for coming out tonight. I know I don't do the most professional show yet, and I'm going to be working on that, but I really do appreciate you coming out. And in the future, we're going to probably be seeing a few of you all up here on the stage as well. And to that, I will say cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, and as this is heating up, Billy Strings has got a new song out called More Bud for Me. I only wish I could use it for a dab song. It's great. Check it out if you haven't heard it. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, thank you very much for having me, Blue. I will see
Oh,
you.
it was not a problem at all. I hope to have you on the show again.
Oh my
Thank you
gosh,
so
thank
much.
you so much.
Okay, we'll see you later. Have a good night.
All right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night to you
Bye.
too. All right. Have a good night, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.